Dear learners, I welcome you all to this MOOC course on cartographic techniques practical, and today is the first lecture and we are going to discuss about the nature and scope of cartography. So, we have to see what are the learning objective of this lecture. The first learning objective of the lecture is to understand the cartography. What is mean by cartography? What is the definition of cartography? The second one is to learn the nature of cartography as a science, technology and arts. Why it is considered as art, science and technology? Let us discuss that. The third one is to know the scope of cartography and where maps are used. What is the scope of cartography? Where we can apply? Whatever the application of cartography, basic applications. The fourth one is to understand the importance of maps in daily life and decision making. Every day we use maps. Wherever we go, whatever decision we take, we use maps. So, we are going to use in our daily life. Finally, to develop spatial thinking skills by analyzing patterns and relationships shown on the maps. The end product or the end outcome of this course is spatial thinking. You are going to think spatially. When you think spatially, you will be able to understand lot of things. You will be able to understand the reality in a simplified manner. Why cartographic matters? Why cartography? Why it is very important? It is a map making science. Learning cartography enhances essential skills for understanding our world. If I do not have map about India, I do not know how India will be. Whatever the shape of India, to know the shape of India, to know where I am here, without map it is very difficult. So, map is compulsory for everybody. For that what we need? When you are going to complete this course, you will have so much of awareness, that is called spatial awareness. What is mean by spatial awareness? To develop the ability to interpret and understand geographic information, spatial relationships and patterns across different scales and contexts. It is nothing but you try to visualize everything. Cartography is an abstract subject and we try to represent using different types of symbols and make people to understand. So, that you will have lot of spatial awareness. When you have a good spatial awareness, that means you can understand clearly about whatever you want to do. The second one is visual analysis. Here environmental social issues through powerful visual representation. Using map, we try to convert ordinary data into spatial data in the form of maps, so that you can understand what is mean by that. When we visualize it, definitely you can capture all type of problems. That is why map is called as a visualization tool. Cartography is a visualization science. The another one is geographic understanding and comprehend regional diversities, patterns and relationships across globe. What type of relationship we have between two countries, between two rivers, between two water bodies, we try to understand the spatial patterns, so that you will understand very clearly about geography of your local area or geography of India or geography of whatever you want. Finally, decision making. It will help you to understand data visualization. When you understand the data visualization, you will be able to solve the problem using mapping skills. So, cartography means it is a visual representation of geographic entities. When you are able to learn this, automatically you will develop skills like a spatial awareness, geographic understanding, visual analysis, then decision making. So, here I mean spatial decision making, where you can locate your house, where I can have a particular institute, where I can start a new industry or new department store, that is a spatial decision making. So, what is cartography now? Many people they think cartography is just like a graphical picture, it is just a picture, it is not a picture. Cartography is a science And if you read this definition, cartography is both an art and a science concerned with the creation of maps. The end product is creation of map to present the earth surface in a clear, simplified and meaningful manner. You try to simplify everything, because world is very big. If I want to represent the whole world within an A4 size paper, I have to simplify everything. I want to prepare a map of India, again I have to simplify. If I want to prepare a map of Tamil Nadu, again I have to simplify. If I want to prepare a map of Chennai city, again I have to simplify. If I want to prepare a map of Madras University campus, again I have to simplify. That means map is a reduction of reality. So, another one is map act as a effective tools for identifying locations, interpreting spatial patterns. What type of spatial patterns we have? When I want to talk about vegetation, what type of vegetation pattern I have? In equatorial area, what type of pattern I have? In coniferous forest, what type of things we have? So, you try to understand very clearly using map. Finally, modern cartography. Today's cartography is a digital cartography. It will embrace both traditional paper maps and innovative digital formats, ensuring geographic knowledge remains accessible across generations and technologies. Because of the development in technology, in software and hardware technology, internet technology, you will be able to represent geographic entities with clear picture and good accuracy. So, based on this, you can tell cartography has a 4 dimensions. First one is science, number 2 art, number 3 technology, then communication. So, cartography can be considered as a science. Why? You see, it relies precise measurement. When I use the term precise measurement, then there is a mathematical formula. Mathematics is there. You have a geodesy to study about the shape and size of the earth, and we use technology, satellite technology, aerial photographs or satellite data or GNS to measure the location, to measure the distances, to measure the area, everything based on the measurement. When you want to see any contours and toposite, it is a 20 meter contour interval, 10 meter contour, precise measurement. So, cartography is considered as a science. Without measurements you cannot do anything. When you come to art, if you see here, focuses on visual appeal and readability. Measurement is okay, I can measure, I can do. How I am going to present all those maps? Without imagination it is very difficult. Here there is no mathematical formula when you want to design your map. You have to think what type of color you have to give, what type of pattern you have to give. Depending upon the pattern, the purpose of the map, you have to design your map in a systematic manner. When I want to prepare a map to students or children, my map will be different. My design capability is very, very important. So, here always I try to give importance to colors, patterns and different types of texture, whether I want to give enlarged version or no, it all depends on the user. So, cartography is considered as an arts. The third one is technology, and you can see here GIS, remote sensing, GNSS. GIS is an automated spatial decision making system. It is like other part of IT technology, other kind of information system. We try to capture the spatial information. The remote sensing is we collect data without physical contact. We have lot of satellites around the world, and satellite collect the data, capture the data, and we use those data for preparation of different types of maps. And now we have a drones. Drone is a latest technology. You can capture the earth centimeter by centimeter. I can map of my university campus, I can see what is happening every centimeter. So, it is a technology. Good example may be our Google map. Everybody they use Google map and they try to apply wherever you go. And finally, it is a communication. Cartography conveys geographic information. using symbols, colors and shapes. Example may be rainfall map. Rainfall map uses colors. And what type of geographic information I am communicating? Here we have a conventional signs and symbols. Even though we have a lot of development cartography, we use technology and everything, but we cannot change the traditions of cartography. That means conventional signs and symbols. Blue color represent water bodies, red color represents settlement, green color represent vegetation. So, nobody can change these basic things. This is also called as a cartographic grammar. Using these cartographic techniques, I mean conventional signs, we try to communicate everything, so that user will be able to understand. User will be able to read the map and interpret the map. Finally, he can take a spatial decisions. So, cartography is arts, science and technology of making maps. Finally, we present all the maps like this. So, cartography has all those things. What is the product of cartography? Map. Very simple, maybe paper map or a digital map. And map has basic characteristics, whatever map you take. What are the characteristics? Regardless of purpose, we need to understand what are the characteristics, so that you can understand the basic things. So, number 1 is cartographic fundamentals. Here location, distance, direction, movement and region form the foundation of all cartographic representation. I am using the term geographic fundamentals. Cartography is part of geography. Cartography is like a engine. Without cartography, no geography actually. Cartography is a visualization science. When you ask the question where is it, geography will answer the question. When I want to show where it is, then cartography will represent, cartography will show it where it is using graphical elements. So, the basic understanding, the basic cartographic concepts are location, distance, direction, movement and region. Everything is within this. When you want to give different types of symbols, that also point based symbol, line based symbol, area based symbol. What are the entities we have? Point, line, area, and everything will be represented using these elements. So, the basic concepts are location. How will you do it? Using geographic coordinates. Number 2 is attribution. Features must be identified and described with appropriate detail and accuracy. What is the difference between this attribution and location? Location may be a map, location may be a location of well, location may be a location of a university. What is attribution? Whatever I want to talk about university, that is attribution. A Madras University is located this particular latitude, longitude, that is a location, geographic fundamental. What about the attributes of Madras University? How many departments are there? How many students are studying? How many teachers are there? What about the financial situation? This is about Madras University. It is called attribute. So, without attribute, you cannot prepare any thematic maps. The third one is reduction of reality. The real world must be simplified to fit map constraints while preserving essential information. Already I told you. When I want to reduce India map into A4 size, then I have to reduce it. The real thing is reality, and always I try to reduce the reality. So, map itself, map is a reduction of reality. Map is a model, map is a visualization tool, map is a communication tool. So, using this reduction of reality, we will do it. In the next lecture, you will see in detail about generalization concept. Another thing is scale management. The relationship between map distance and real world distance must be clearly established. Because of the scale, these graphical elements or whatever picture we do, that is called as a map. So, without scale you cannot define a map. Always, each and every time whenever you prepare a map, map should have a scale. Whether it is a large scale map or small scale map, we have to use the scale, and based on the scale only we will do generalization. Next one is geometric transformation. Here 3-dimensional earth surface must be projected onto 2-dimensional map surface. Very simple. When you want to transform 3-dimensional spherical earth onto 2-dimensional surface, we need to use map projections. Map projections play a great role in preparation of different types of maps. Finally, abstraction. What is mean by this? Complex reality is simplified through generalization concept and selection of irrelevant features. So, it is abstract, we try to apply cartographic grammar and cartographic techniques to represent all geographic features. The next one, after learning basic characters of maps, we need to think what about the functions, what are the functions of maps, and here one is information storage. What is mean by that? If you see any map, whether it is a thematic map or topographic sheet or any tourist map, no, we read what about the road, what about the city name, whether it is a NHR state highway, we try to read everything and we can capture so much of information from the map. Lot of information is available in the map. So, map stores so much point based, line based, area based geographic features. Everything is stored, that is why sometimes map is considered as a information system. Information system will capture, store, analyze and display the data. The same function map also has. The second one, spatial understanding. You see here, map provides visual representations that help us comprehend spatial patterns, and you try to establish relationship between geographic entities. For example, when you have a road, along the road or right side, left side, what type of geographic features you have. When you want to assess the relationship with river, what about agricultural lands we have, whether right side, left side. So, that will explain so much about the spatial relationships. Now, what I can do from this? I can identify the location. Where is it? When I ask the question, where is it? I will tell you, sir, this is from this particular latitude, longitude. What is it? That is attribute. For example, if you ask me where I am sitting, my location is where is it? What is it? Who I am? I am a professor, that is attribute. When is it? I am a professor. When I become a professor? That means map should have location, map should have attributes, map should have a time. If you have a map without time, this is not called as a map. So, the fundamental questions establish the geographic context for features and phenomena, anchoring abstract concepts to specific places, abstract concept to reality. Another thing is, we establish the spatial relationship. What is nearby? How far away? In which direction? How do I get there? Map try to explain very nicely about these things. Nearby University of Madras, what I have? I have Anna University. How far away? Just 1 meter. In which direction? West direction. See, when I have these information, I will be able to understand very clearly. I can take my decision within a short span of time. Finally, context and patterns. What other things are there? How might they be related? These information will be analyzed using different types of maps. Now, let us see the scope of cartography. So, cartography is art, science and technology of manufacturing maps. And what about the scope of cartography? And if you see here, comprehensive system of process and relationship connecting geographic data with human understanding. The discipline extends beyond map making to include data collection, analysis, design, production, distribution and use. Again I tell you, geography and cartography. Geography try to collect so much of information. Geography is a spatial science. It try to explain the physical and human dimension of the earth. cartography try to collect all the information using different techniques. It will try to represent all the geographic entities, so that we will be able to give clear picture to the society. So, for that data is very very important. Raw geographic information normally will be collected using GPS survey or any basic surveying, satellite data or socio-economic survey. Depends on the purpose. I can collect about human dimension, I will collect about the location, I will collect about the relationship between different types of geographic entities. So, data is number 1 in scope of cartography. After that, map maker, what he will do? He will process the data and design effective representation, because when you design effectively, that will communicate the user. Design is a very very important, very powerful part of cartography. So, you design. So, map maker will collect the data, then he will design, he will prepare a map, he will prepare a map. The cartographic product is a map, maybe a digital map or a static, dynamic, interactive, whatever map. That map will communicate spatial information. When you do not represent the information, that will not be considered as a spatial information. If your information is not related to spatial information, you will not be able to take any type of decisions. So, map user will take the decision based on whatever map try to explain, and here any individual, any organization will use the map to achieve the specific goals. Maybe map user may be a district collector, map user may be a disaster management team, they need map. They want to see the location of a particular hazard, particular of a disaster. When you have a disaster map, flood prone areas or landslide areas, user will be able to see that, he will take the decision. The scope of cartography contains data, map maker, map and map user. So, modern cartography recognizes that users increasingly participate in creation through crowdsourcing, volunteer geographic information, interactive mapping tools. Nowadays, you need not go to field every time. Now, we have a social media. People, public, they try to collect the data, capture the data, photograph and videos, they put everything in social media. We can use that data also as a source, and we can use for a preparation of maps. That is called crowdsourcing. Sometime reliability may be a question, but we can think, and it will be very useful for us to complete the thing. So, cartography finally is a communication system. Map is a communication tool, cartography is a communication system. Two terms I am using. Cartography is like a language. Language has a grammar, like a past tense, present tense, future tense, adjective, like that. Every language you have a grammar. Map is a tool, like a Tamil, like a English. English has a grammar. If I do not use grammar, I will not be able to communicate. So, map has a grammar, cartographic grammar. Using this cartographic grammar, we try to make people to understand. So, here if you see this picture, cartographer collect the data from reality. He will capture the data using photographs, using GPS and all other tools, then he prepares a map. After that, he recognizes what are the geographic entities to be included for map making, how I can select, how I can classify, how I can give symbols. Classification is nothing but what type of classification. If I am going to prepare a agriculture map of a particular district, if my map scale is A4 size, so I have a paddy, sorghum, ragi and other things, I will reclassify, I will simplify, I use the whole crops are food crops. So, cartographer try to recognize the geographic features, then he will select important geographic features, he will classify based on the purpose, then simplify, then give symbol for each and every geographic features. Finally, you have a map. Map user, he will read the map, he will analyze the map, he will interpret it. Reading map is nothing but daily we read the newspapers, like that, just you will read, then you will understand. Interpretation is little bit different from reading of the map. Interpreter means you should have some skill in geography. If you are an agriculture scientist, you need to know about agriculture. If you are a geomorphologist, you should know what is geomorphology. If you are a land use land cover expert, you should know what is land use land cover expert. So that you try to interpret. So interpretation is different, reading is different. So map user will interpret it. If I am going to prepare a rainfall map of a particular district, maybe district collector may read the rainfall map. He will see which season that particular district receives so much of rainfall, which season no rainfall or less rainfall. Based on that map, based on the spatial variation of rainfall, he will be able to take perfect decisions, and this decision is called spatial decision. Though reality, he will apply it. Then finally, you have a reality, then again cartography will collect. It is like a cyclical process. So map is conventionally speaking, always we prepare paper maps. Olden days all paper maps, now no more paper maps. We have digital, wherever you go you can prepare maps anywhere, everywhere. You have a source, you have a data, you have a software, you have a tools, I can do anything from anywhere. Ubiquitous mapping everywhere because of digital revolution in cartography. Without internet, without computer, without any technology, it is very difficult for us to produce digital maps. Every time cartographer adopts new technology and try to develop new skills for mapping new things, because cartography is for society. The first technology is GIS. Already I told you, it is a spatial information system. Try to collect spatial information, map based data. Every year, every month, every time. If I want to prepare a traffic map, I want to see whatever the traffic at 5 o'clock today, I do not know, maybe I know number. When you want to convert this traffic data into spatial information, I can see the map where I have so much of traffic, where I have a less traffic. Based on that, I will be able to take decision which time is the best time for me to travel from one place to another place. GIS help you a lot to do this. Second one is remote sensing. Remote sensing is a latest technology. We have a different types of remote sensing things are there, passive remote sensing, active remote sensing, now microwave, drone based, so much. The aim of remote sensing is to capture the data about the earth every time with high resolution, so that I want to monitor what is happening. Global level, local level and university level, any forest fire is there, any traffic problem is there. So, it is an excellent tool to capture the spatial information. Without remote sensing nowadays you can't live, all the decisions are based on the remote sensing. So, cartographer uses remote sensing for capturing all the information and preparing interactive mapping. Third one is GNSS, Global Navigation Satellite System, and you can see here real time positioning and navigation capabilities. We try to collect the real time information, so that you will be able to take where you are moving. Finally, web mapping. Web mapping enables interactive global access through platforms like Google Earth and OpenStreetMap. Google Earth is a very excellent example for web maps. So, web maps is a perfect technology, latest technology, everybody we use these technologies to complete the map. So, based on the previous slide, I think I will be able to tell what are the cartographic sciences, what are the disciplines help in the development of cartography. So, surveying and all basic surveying using total station, electronic distance measures, we try to survey, we prepare maps. Geodesy, already I told you, it is about the study of shape and size of the earth, mathematical formula, many things we do, without that it is very difficult for us to do things. Spatial databases, whatever data we collect, whether from remote sensing or drones or here, we have to collect, capture the data. Data storage is very important. For that, spatial database is a new discipline and we have to expertise in that. We have to capture everything in the database, cloud or any type of database. Photogrammetry, I want to measure, for that photogrammetry is very important. So, creates maps, measurements from aerial and satellite photographs using stereographic viewing and digital image processing techniques. We measure, then we will be able to give clear picture about a small or big area. So, finally, GIS and GPS enables digital mapping, spatial analysis, precise positioning through integrated software and satellite navigation systems. Most of the navigations, whether it is air or here, and they use GNSS. Already I told you remote sensing role in cartography. So, these disciplines are playing a great role in the development of cartography, the geoinformatics family and part of cartographic sciences. So, this is a wide ranging applications. You can apply your map in urban planning, you can take decisions about roads, zoning, land use, land cover development, and most of the development things, like for example, Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority, when they want to have a master plan almost all over the world, they use map as a very important tool to give master plans. Agriculture, now we use precise agriculture, urban agriculture, map plays a great role. Disaster management, whether it is a flood, cyclone, earthquake, landslide, where is occurring, what about the location, when it will occur, what happened, what about the impact, whether 20% or 30% area affected. I think very difficult for us to understand without maps. We have to prepare a hazard calendar, based on that you can prepare which period the worst period as far as landslide is concerned. As far as flood is concerned, map gives clear picture, you can take decision perfectly. Then environmental studies, forests, fire, pollution, ecosystem, many things, wherever you have a problem, your GIS will help you a lot. Then navigation and transport, road maps and GPS systems, air travel planning, real time route optimization, everything is based on maps. Finally, defense is a very important sector. Military forces use strategic topographic maps for tactical operations and planning. Very high resolutions data are there now, centimeter level already told you. In regular topography, how we can move, which direction you have to move, how we can move, how much time it will take to reach a particular place, your map will be very, very useful. So, cartography and spatial decision making. See, its a modern definition is cartography represents the convergence of art, science and technology of manufacturing maps. This multidisciplinary field combines aesthetic judgment, scientific rigor and technological capability to create representations that inform critical decisions across society at local level, regional level, state level, whatever level you need. So, data revolution, everything happens somewhere. The new wave of data creation, that is the power of location. Now, we have a locational intelligence like artificial intelligence, like a business intelligence, understanding where things happen, unlocks insights into why they happen, enabling predictive analysis and informed decision making across industries. Why it happened, why it is happening, what will happen if it goes like that. What I can do to mitigate, to minimize, mitigate or stop this particular problem, your map is there, locational intelligence. Maps have become increasingly personal, adapting to individual preferences, current location and specific needs through mobile technology and interactive interfaces. Now, we have Amazon and many things now, they try to deliver everything, that is part of this, that is called location based services, map based services. So, what about the future of cartography? Cartography continues to evolve and new technologies emerge and user needs change. The fundamental principles of effective communication remain constant, but the tools, methods and applications constantly advance. The basic grammar, the basic conventional science, the basic concept you cannot change, but they can use these technologies to give a clear picture for precise decision making by the decision makers. So, the digital information is concerned from paper to pixels. Maps have become dynamic, interactive and accessible everywhere. That is why map is now ubiquitous, it is not localized. Map now real time mapping, live data stream enables maps that update continuously with current conditions. We have IoT, Internet of Things. Using this IoT, you will be able to install your raincast station anything, anywhere. You can connect, you can tell real time information. You have an interactive map, you can take decisions every time, you need not wait for data or something. And now 3D and immersive virtual and augmented reality, new ways to experience geographic space. It is an era of immersive virtual reality. I want to represent my geomorphic features, some problem, disaster. Yes, cartographers will be able to make very nicely 3D, 4D dimension, and decision maker will be able to understand clearly about the problem, they can take the decision. That is the today's scenario. And AI enhanced design, artificial intelligence, machine learning assists cartographers in making complex decision making. We use now AI based technologies to take decisions, to prepare maps. As cartography advances, the core mission remains unchanged, that is transformation of geographic data into useful knowledge, useful spatial knowledge that empowers better understanding about your area, about your region, about your country, and decision making about the world. So, finally, if you see this map, without maps we are spatially blind. If you are spatially blind, you will not be able to understand, you will not be able to take clear decisions. So, map is compulsory, it is like I want to capture the data, I see everybody like that. Using map we are able to see everything, we will be able to take decisions, we will be able to give a solution whatever problem we have at local level, regional, national or global level. Okay. Considering the above discussion, whatever we have discussed, we have understood that map is very important, powerful. Without map we are spatially blind, we will not be able to take any decisions without map now. So, I think this class has given clear picture about the nature and scope of cartography. Thank you very much.